Learning Center tutor in the library. Walk-in help is available, free and no appointment necessary. Fall semester hours are as follows. September 5th to December 7th, Monday and Wednesday 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., Tuesday and Thursday 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
I told my grandma about
You should
that.
tell them that the
She
mics are
laughed,
going
so-
live.
Mics are on.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello there.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Come on, let's do it all together. It's a Rhineway with Grim Republic.
Oh yeah.
Hi, guys.
How's it
up?
going?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
Fantastic.
Moderately neato.
I've never heard that before. Okay. Yeah.
You can,
You
you
want
can
me to
start. Yeah, you can start.
So, Grim Republic. Talk to me about where are you guys from?
We are from Akron.
Okay.
Well, the greater Akron area, anyways. The two of us are Kirk and I are from Cuyahoga Falls. Kyle's from Stowe, and Matt is from Hudson. So we're all around that area.
Okay. So, do you guys want to, well, kind of just did, but introduce yourselves individually and what you do in the band?
Yeah, sure. I'm Chris. I'm the lead vocals and guitar.
I'm Matt. Matt France. I do the bass guitar.
I'm Kyle Spreitzer. I do guitar and backup vocals.
I'm Kirk Baglia. I play drums.
Matt, are you like the token?
Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
So, how did you guys form your band, your group?
So this kind of happened over a college break. It wasn't supposed to be anything crazy. So I had come home from Kent State for winter break, and myself, Kyle, and Chris used to play together, just on and off, jamming, nothing crazy.
We're back in middle school.
Yeah, all the way back to middle school. You could trace it. And so, I hit them up, or they hit me up, or I don't remember really. But we started jamming, and we kind of realized that we all got a little better at our instruments. And so we were thinking about, recording something. And we made a couple iPhone recordings, and, that wasn't quite cutting it. So we bought some recording gear, laid something down, and we were actually pretty happy with it. So we thought we'd take it a step forward, but we were missing a bass guitar. So cue Matt. He hit us up on Facebook just randomly.
Well, there was an ad.
Well,
Yeah, we did say we were looking for
Unofficially.
somebody, but
oh,
Matt
yeah, my
Matt's
memory's a little hazy.
Matt was very professional in his approach
Oh, it was-
to join the band. Hello, my name is Matt France. I have
You didn't even play
communication
bass.
abilities.
No, I didn't. No,
Really?
I had
Oh,
bass.
yeah,
I
it
probably
was
played for a
very
total of like an
formal. It was
hour.
like,
before.
what it was like trying to
Yeah, it
trying to
was-
apply for a job. Almost.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I didn't know how weird it was about to
Might be a
get.
good fit for the position. But either way, he came in, and we just clicked immediately, and it just took off from there, and
Cool,
we started
cool.
writing and recording, and here we are.
So, tell me what the genre you guys try to portray in
Oh
your
gosh,
music.
it's kind of all over the place.
Punk rock.
we do a
alternative.
lot of like pop punk, a lot of alternative. We draw a lot of influence from like Blink-182 and Green Day, but at the same time we draw a lot of influence from bands like Buckcherry and Metallica. So if you listen if you listen to anything that we've recorded from the very first, from day one up until a couple of weeks ago, it's all very diverse.
Okay.
I don't think we have more than 2 or 3 songs that fall into the same genre. So, and we brought our EP with us and our single, and those 5 songs, none of those are like the next. They're all different.
Okay.
So
That's cool. Variety.
yeah, we kind of it's just fun. Kind of just writing whatever comes to mind instead of doing things that are trying to pigeonhole
Like
ourselves.
force
into
it, yeah.
Right.
trying to force one genre, trying to stick to instead of making everything sound kind of the same thing.
You're not putting yourself in a box.
Yeah.
Right.
We like to say it's organic.
Organic.
It's organic.
So, let's play some of your music.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do it.
All right.
Well, what do you guys want to start off with?
Track 1, I guess.
That's the single.
You tell me something?
Yeah, I guess we'll say that one.
We should do Until Sunrise. Yeah,
Yeah,
do
Until
Until
Sunrise.
Sunrise.
Which track is that?
Which one is that?
Track
Probably
two-
3 then.
It's track
It's
2
2
on
on
my
the EP,
CD.
but it's
Okay,
Is
then
track 2 on yours?
Yeah, we'll do 2. We kind of like jerry rigged these CDs. 'Cause we put everything that we had on there, so let's try 2. We'll just
Okay.
go with track 2, whatever that is.
And we'll do that. This is Grim Republic with what's the song?
Until Sunrise.
Sunrise.
Until Sunrise.
Probably.
Yeah, I know you got my eye all alone at the end of the bar. We'll sit down and talk a while. I know it's what you're waiting for. Is it me or something else that twirls your hair and makes you blush? What's going on inside that shell? What's it gonna take to open up? Yeah, I love the way you're moving heels when I wave you over to my seat. You're hanging on every word I say, and I can start to feel the heat. Tell me, girl, what are the words that'll make you close that tab? Let's put a smile on the devil's face. Let's blow this place, girl. Take my hand.
Okay. Well,
And we're back.
And yeah, we are back. That was a good song, guys.
Thank you.
Really good song.
Thank you.
How did you guys? What's the song about? In coming from your view.
So that one, that one's a little more one of our kind of more surface level songs. We write the music first.
Mm-hmm.
Usually start with either a bass riff or a guitar riff and kind
Right.
of expand the song out from there.
Right.
And almost always vocals are last. So that particular one, we had just listened to it and my mind, like I heard like, you know, with those verses, like with the slow drums and like the real ambient, I just kind of thought of like a dark like, bar. And,
Okay.
You know, kind of meeting somebody in a dark, like smoky bar, and you know, kind of the interaction of meeting somebody like new and exotic for the first time.
Okay.
And, you know, your interaction, therefore.
Okay. Okay. What is throughout this entire EP or for the band in general? What's the message you guys want to send people through your music?
That's a great question.
Yeah, that is a great question.
I ask that to everybody I interview.
I think we've we talked about this a little while ago, and we wanted to incorporate that into the way we look and play on stage as well. I think there's this maybe sort of stigma that like when we tell people we're in a band, for some reason there's this, you know, oh, they live in the basement of their parents' house kind of stigma. And we, every time we go to a show, we're dressed similar to where we are, how we are right now. We're
So casually.
yeah,
you know,
casual, but almost
Then
like
the way
almost
you
like we
wanna
just
dress,
came from
right.
work almost.
Right, right.
So we've got that. I guess that like white collar
Professionalism
appearance,
kind
but
of.
Yeah.
like taking the tie off, going
Right.
to do what we love to do.
Right,
kind
right,
of.
right. Okay. Okay.
And kind of following that, as far as the message of the songs, it kind of follows that where, you know, we're not trying to fall into the, oh, we're, you know, these starving musicians, or, you know, we see everything wrong and we're anti-establishment, or like all that stuff. It's the perspective of the average person seeing, you know, expressing what, you know, normal people want to express, you know, so they
Right.
cover a broad range of topics, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
Where was the first place you guys played together?
Ooh.
Like live or
It was Wing Warehouse in.
that was a great story.
Well, I guess it's in Stowe, but in Stowe, Cuyahoga Falls, that area. We were, you know, we had just finished writing a few things over the winter, and we had the connection to play. I think it was 2 or 3 hours there at the time. We had to, you know, fill an entire thing with covers and our original music, and we were prepared to do that. Followed up, you know, a month out. They said, "Yeah, you're good to go. You come in," and we the day of, we got a message saying that there was a you know, an accident about booking, and that they didn't know we were coming, and we, you know, they were not going to pay us, and we were going to do the show.
Wow.
But we were like, well, we have a bunch of people coming, you know, we don't care. Like, don't pay us. We just want to play. And, you know, this is our first show. We have a bunch of people coming in from out of town. And they were like, that's fine. You can come in, you can set up in the center of the place. And, you know, we don't think you can probably do 2 hours, but you can do an hour. I think did we end up doing 2 hours, or we did 2 hours?
We did two different sets.
We did two different sets. So we did 2 hours, and you know, things have progressively gotten better. But we played really well that night. It went over really well. We packed every table, and they were so happy with us that they've had us come back 2 or 3 times the past
Each
2 years.
summer, yeah.
You know, they built a patio out on the deck, and you know, we're good. We have a good working relationship with them, and it's been fantastic.
And finally paid you.
Yeah. Like I said, we weren't worried about that. We were just happy to be given the opportunity as a band for the first time. And, you know, we owe it to them for letting us get out there. So.
Isn't that kind of like the, you know, that feeling of like, wow, this is starting to pay off. You know, like we're getting our first gig. This is huge.
For sure. And it definitely started to feel like it was paying off. You know, after a while we did a couple of these sort of like sports bar shows where we play for a couple hours. And we started, you know, making a couple of dollars here and there with tips and selling T-shirt ideas and things like that. And we were able to use a good chunk of it to pay for recording this the 4-song EP, and then again when we went in and did the single. So, you know, it's really cool to see something that, you know, I guess we've only kind of dreamed about doing. You know, playing music is something that we're really passionate about. So being able to do that, being able to make a little bit of money, and then being able to use that money to push ourselves even further is fantastic.
Right. So you got another song?
We
You
do.
want us?
You want to do the single now?
Let's do Yellow TV first.
Yellow TV.
Okay.
So that's the only one you didn't play. So whatever one,
Whichever
whichever number is it the last one then?
It should be
Probably the last
5. I'm not sure. I
Okay.
don't know. It's
I did have one more question.
Sure.
Yeah. Just came to my mind. How did you guys come up with the name Grim Republic?
Oh gosh. Well, see that dates back to the middle school thing, and we kind of tossed a bunch of ideas around, and then our old bassist named Tyler Towsley threw it out there, and then we were just like, all right, I guess that's what we're going.
Shout out to Tyler.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay.
That was 8th grade. We convened. We threw a bunch of stuff against the wall, and and that's really what it was. It's kind of for nostalgia purposes only, and then it stuck.
Right.
Okay. And there was that debate whether to have
the before
the Grim
Republic.
Republic because Kirk liked it and we
I
didn't.
couldn't stand the idea of reviving a band with that same name. So I'm like, well, I'll do it if it's the Grim Republic. It was some huge deal for me for 4 months, and then they finally convinced me to get over myself, and
Yeah.
fine. So yeah.
Okay. Well, next song, Yellow TV.
Yellow TV.
All right.
nukes in Iran, but you're only right with God in a nuclear family. attentive, so eager to mold into the perfect perspective. It's all about the money, it always was. There's a lot to be had if they can start up a fuss. Why do you think it's bad news all the time? Hell, they can make a parking ticket look like a hate crime. They'll hand you the world on a plane and make you watch it burn. So curse the flames instead of fetching water. So question all, roll back and think for yourself, my friend. The world is what you make of it.
Good song, guys.
Thank you.
Good song. So, talk to me about the message behind that song.
Okay, so like we talked about before, this is one of our few political ones. I guess it's not even really in regard to politics. It's more of a criticism of mass media, namely, the news stations, your CNNs, MSNBC, Fox News, things like that.
Yeah.
In the fact that you're always getting some sort of distorted truth and sensationalized issues. And the name Yellow TV came from, it's an allusion to yellow journalism back from like the 1910s, 1920s, where these newspaper moguls were, blowing stories out of proportion and, causing, chaos and panic amongst the mass public of, these blown up versions of these stories that weren't even true.
Right.
And one day I was watching the news, and I think this was like a couple summers ago. This is when like the Cecil the Lion thing was going on. Bruce Jenner was just starting to become Caitlyn Jenner. Callie was going through a huge drought, still is, but all these problems, but then they're being portrayed as basically the end of the world.
Right.
And you look out your window, at least for most people, and it's pretty much business as usual. And at some point I got kind of irritated with that and started to spit something out. We had this track, just the music kind of laying around, and it just kind of came out in about a half hour. But the main message is just think for yourself, and don't always believe everything you see, because they're just trying to make money off of your emotions.
Stay woke.
Yeah.
Yeah. I completely agree with that. From the media perspective of that, definitely. It's just crazy. You turn on the TV and it's just like, oh, well, another bad day in America.
Right.
And this person's stupid and this person's terrible, and we need to make sure that we,
It's never anything positive.
Right. It's nothing positive. So
There's that one like psychological disorder. What was it like bad world syndrome or something? No matter what, you're always thinking that it's because of the news, that you always think that it's always bad outside.
Yeah.
When it's really just it's fine. You're not gonna die.
people are just living their lives. It's not like,
Right.
And it's just that you're bombarded with it
Yeah.
constantly.
Right.
And it's not that issues shouldn't be brought forward, but when you make it kind of a cycle of fear, it's gonna impact society in a negative way.
It is true. They can make a parking ticket look like a hate crime.
That's right.
I like that.
Our follow-up song is actually going to be called Yellow Facebook.
Okay.
Just
Please do that. And then Yellow Instagram. It's just Yellow the album.
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Like the Beatles had the White Album.
Right.
Yeah,
you
the
know,
Black Album.
the Black. Yeah.
We'll do the Yellow Album.
Yeah, you'll do the Yellow Album. That'll be like the one thing in when you guys are all 90 years old and people are looking through the music archives. It's like the Yellow Album went double platinum. It's like, oh, dude.
Yeah, dude, so yellow.
Bro, so yellow. But you have anything you want to ask?
I haven't thought of anything yet.
Okay, we'll play another song then.
Yeah, let's do the single. Sure.
Do the single. What's the name of the single?
The name of the single is "Tell Me Something."
Okay.
We did this one. It was back. Well, we released it back in May. We recorded it over sort of like the New Year's break from school. And this is, I think, as far as what we have recorded, it's what we're most proud of. It's sort of what we've been pushing for the last more than a couple months, and we're sort of using that to continue to push forward, push for another EP in the near to distant future. Who knows? But yeah, this is the one that we've been trying to cram down everybody's throat.
Are you guys all still in college?
I graduated last year with Kyle
Graduate with him.
from Akron.
Yeah, going back for grad school.
Okay.
Hey,
Spring.
Kirk, you're still...
Yeah, so I'm currently doing my second senior year at the moment. Doing a audio engineering degree, so
Okay.
we kind of in your guys' realm.
Yeah.
And then Chris is finishing up pharmacy school.
Yeah, I'm at
Okay.
Northeast Ohio Medical University.
Okay. All right. Cool. Next song is "Tell Me Something," right?
Yes.
All right.
Correct.
Tell
By each other.
On a spiritual level.
Oh, okay.
Please tell me the mics were off for that.
Who cares?
Half of it.
Just be yourself.
Oh man, darn. Now it's just out of context. Make them.
I'm so proud you
figure it
said
out on their
darn.
own.
And we have breaking news. No, so, talk to me about where you guys have played, other than the Wing House, right?
Well, yeah, Wing Warehouse.
Wing Warehouse.
We have a pretty wide. I mean, I guess not wide. I mean, we played a lot of places around where we are.
Mm-hmm.
We've done the Outpost in Kent. We played a number of shows there. Last month we did an opening gig for Hawthorne Heights while we were there. We've played our other kind of like home base kind of places, the Empire in Akron as well. They always treat us fantastic when we're there.
Love that
And
place.
we've been lucky enough to do. We opened up for Billy Morris, the former guitarist of Warrant, the rock band Warrant.
Mm-hmm.
Back a couple, was it two St. Patrick's Days ago?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
2016.
Yep.
So we were able to do that. We did that up around
Eastlake.
Eastlake. Yeah, we did that in Eastlake, and then we went down.
We're at Eastlake.
It was at Grand River Party Center.
Yeah.
It was at Grand River, I guess.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
It was. I guess the main metropolitan area would be Eastlake.
Somewhere around there, and then we
Like
got
technical.
to play at another sort of bar kind of place down in Worcester, and then we're in I think what is it? At the second week of December, we get to play up in Euclid.
And we're
Euclid
looking
Tavern.
Yeah, we're looking
Yeah,
to play
the
more in
Euclid
Cleveland,
Tavern.
though.
Yeah, we're definitely
So-
looking to expand more into Cleveland, but I want to take an opportunity to really push our next big show, which would be on December 1st. We're playing with a band that's been on the show before named Chill. You got their picture over here in the corner here. And we're getting ready to play that show with them on the 1st at Musica in Akron.
Okay.
It's going to be a big one.
Yeah, it's going to be a really big show. So we're trying to push that as much as we can,
Real
get as
chill.
many people there as possible, and have a good time. So
So where do you guys see yourself in like 5 years from now?
Where would we like to see ourselves?
Yes.
Well,
Billionaires?
touring a city near you, I guess. It's kind of interesting, I think, because we talk about this a lot because we're all, either in school or recently out of school. Everybody's kind of in this transition period of their life, but the band is like kind of the one thing like holding us together. And we're all kind of pursuing our backup plans, but when everyone asks us like, what do you want to do, like what's your real dream, this is it. So we're going to take this as far as we possibly can, and basically if we have the opportunity to really proceed to the next level, start touring, hopefully get signed, start putting out some serious records and doing some serious tours, that's where we'd love to be.
True. I agree.
we had a music video for
Right.
that song we just played for you.
On YouTube.
Yes, it's on YouTube.
Okay.
There's it says the theatrical version because we were lucky enough to work with a film student from Kent State named Erica Collins and her fantastic group of friends and colleagues, and we were able to do a music video for that one. And it's got a whole, I think it was like a minute and a half intro for it. Kyle was our contact for it. Was with Erica.
Yeah, we were able to get into the Akron Canton Airport to film it, so we had two
Private
very expensive private jets
Yeah.
right behind us. So it looked really awesome, but it was on a good budget.
Yeah, with our budget, we never would have been able to pull it off, but
But it turned out really well, and it looks very professional. So
That's good.
It's awesome. It was really fun.
it was really fun.
It was a
Probably
great time.
it took.
Did you guys get to
several
go
hours.
like
We had to play to the song.
outside near the jets?
It was
We were right next to it.
mid-February,
Oh,
so
really?
it was
Hangar.
like
It was inside the
freezing.
hangar,
yeah.
yeah.
So we played through the song. What was it, like 30 times or something?
Yeah,
And it was a weird experience just because like we've never really did anything like that, and we're just
Yeah.
like kind of like just messing around the entire. Well, not like messing around, but like
So I remember my neck hurting so
Oh,
bad the
it
next
was-
morning from headbanging so much.
I had to chug like 2 coffees just to like get through like the 8-hour.
Oh, sorry.
Just
It was absolutely exhausting. I think I speak for all of us when we say like we didn't realize how much work goes into not only like the people behind it, working on it, but just being in the music video, having to do it
100%
so many
each time.
times, for all these angles, right? And not only are we playing it normally, we're like over exaggerating everything we do, with all the movements, all the so we're acting essentially,
Right,
we're
right.
playing our song, it's over embellished, and we're all like just sweating,
Yeah.
and out of breath after each one. It's nuts.
That's the other thing is, like I said, it's called the theatrical version on Facebook, because there's about a minute and a half of sort of like a little story beforehand, and I played the lead alongside a friend of ours, and I have this weird thought in my head, like when I watch TV and stuff. I was like, yeah, I could do that. I could act. And I got in front of the camera, and I was like watching the first couple of takes. I'm like, wow, I'm awful at this. I don't know what I'm doing. To go through, to memorize lines, to make it really look convincing is a lot harder than I thought. But like we said, I thought it turned out great.
So, how many songs do you guys have written total right now?
Like recorded, we have 5.
The original 7.
But I mean,
somewhere around 12 or 13 that we've ever played live or have put completed. We've had a couple of them that just
fell
we
through.
got all the way done with them and listened to them. We were like, no one should ever hear this ever. So they're in a folder on the drive that just nobody's allowed to go in.
Called the dead meme folder.
The dead memes folder.
And there's plenty of other ideas that haven't maybe made it to a verse chorus idea, just scrapped it, or songs we've completely finished and they were okay. It's just that doesn't sound like us.
Right.
And that doesn't mean that like 2 years we like listen to it again and be like, wait, we could probably take part of this song and maybe like
that's
mesh it into something else
That's
that
what
we
we've
had.
been-
Yeah,
that's what we've been
recently doing. We took
Smorgasbord.
we had an old song called October, and it was kind of like a slower song, and we weren't sold on the lyrics and like a couple of the pieces, and Kyle would listen to it in his car by himself, driving places, and he was like, guys, I think there's something here, like we should really like take a second look at it. And we ended up doing that, and we reworked a lot of it, and now it's one of the ones that when we get around to doing this next EP is we want that on there. It's one of the good ones. So
It's personally probably like one of my favorite songs we've ever written, honestly. Like it's powerful. Like it's really just
Definitely a little more emotional.
Yeah. I mean, all bands though, whether they're hard rock or even some like death black metal groups, they still have some sort of like slow
Some ballads.
song, melodic
ballads,
song.
yeah, you gotta have some ups and downs. there,
Right.
diversity.
Yeah.
No, it's
What it goes into the writing process for all of your songs?
So a lot of it is most of the time I'll have a bunch of ideas on my phone, and they're just like a little like 30-second clip of me playing something on a bass, on a guitar, of me humming a rhythm or something, and I'll bring it to Kirk, and we'll sit down and we'll go, okay, we have what sounds like a guitar part that could be for a chorus. Now let's create what comes after that. That's the verse. Okay, let's create that piece. Oh, well, here's a bass line that would go really nice. It would fit in there. Or here's a vocal melody that would go on top of it really nice. And we kind of piece part it, Frankenstein it together all the way to the end. Look at it as a whole, maybe change a few things around, and then go into the vocals. So, and what we've recently been doing, just because it's kind of the way we work, is that Kirk and I will do a lot of that, and we'll finish the song, and then what we do is we mute the parts for Matt and Kyle, and we'll give them the shell of the song so that they have free artistic range to do whatever it is they see fit for their own parts to kind of like play over the foundation as it is. And then once that's all complete, we'll go in and we'll write lyrics. if they're not already written. Sometimes we start with a lyric idea. But then we'll add the lyrics, and we do a lot of everything is pretty much recorded at home first, and that's what we go off of until we decide to go into the studio. I know a lot of bands go in and they pay for studio time and they write while they're in the studio. We've never done that. We have everything written beforehand.
It just doesn't make sense in our minds. Yeah.
We've had everything written beforehand, and we go in having practiced our parts to a metronome for 3-4 weeks, and it's we're in and out.
Right.
Budget.
Yeah, well, like a lot of bands, they have just millions of dollars to just
Right.
just sit there and BS for hours.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, and if you're John Mayer, you have the money to go sit down with a producer who's like helping you along with it over a month-long process, and you come up with some really good stuff.
Right.
But us normal folk don't really have that opportunity. And I think any advice to any local bands, if you really want to get your tracks to sound really good on a budget, is do all your pre-production at home.
Right.
Know what you're doing so you can knock it out and make the most of your time while you're in there.
Right.
Yeah.
No, don't say that last part over there. don't
What did
say
someone
that.
message us? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big Tom Brady fan, and I hate Cristiano Ronaldo. So everybody makes fun of me and says Tom Brady's softer than Ronaldo. I hate Ronaldo with a passion. But anyway, I hate soccer players. Anyway,
Jeez.
okay, wait a minute.
It's
I don't
football.
hate. I don't. It's just, to me, soccer's not a real sport. I don't know.
Oh man.
I mean,
I have to.
I mean, I like the World Cup just because.
Yeah, but does the U.S. ever win? No.
They're not even in it this year.
I know they like.
So
The
this is
women's team does pretty
so this
good.
is an American superiority issue.
Let's write a song about it.
Yeah, American superiority.
That'll be an American superiority
Hashtag tool.
complex. That'll
Yeah.
be our next political one.
Soccer sucks. That's the next single. Next hit
Yes,
single.
Brett. Kyle.
Oh no.
That's actually kind of how we knew each other. It was through
yeah.
random pickup soccer games.
Really?
Through I worked with someone he's his cousin, and we would meet up, and I legit used to not like you because you're so good at soccer. And I was like, I just wanted. I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't do anything. He's like, what do do? It was a good time.
Good times, man.
Yeah, and now it's like, hello, what do do?
It's an interesting way to put that. Okay.
What's your favorite colors?
Okay. Yeah, that's one thing. Sure.
It's a Spectrum. No, I'm just kidding. I really like. I mean, I used to really like blue for some reason, but I really don't care anymore.
Purple.
And why not anymore?
Because I just like bold colors. So really anything that's just more bold and
Yeah, when we first started playing shows, before we kind of decided on this whole, the button down shirts with the
Right.
untucked, unbuttoned, whatever. We would all, Kurt, Kyle, and I would wear pretty much black V-neck tees and jeans, and Matt would wear bright yellow or bright green shirts with salmon shorts.
Oh yeah,
it was-
salmon
and a bow
pants.
tie.
and,
Always
and
a bow tie.
super
Usually,
high
yeah.
socks that had candy
Octopus.
canes on them or whatever.
Are you originally from California or something,
it
or
was-
no?
Cleveland.
He was the splash of color for the band, so.
So yeah, you can always tell who the bassist is, right?
Right.
Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Because
I'm
he's
just
so
kidding.
awesome.
Right.
Yeah, exactly,
Right?
exactly,
Right,
exactly.
guys?
You got to keep the rhythm together, bud.
So, what are you guys working on the full album, or just trying to hang out with the
We kind
EP?
of decided that we're just gonna, for a little while, we're gonna continue with the EP thing, doing 4 or 5 songs at a time, and trying to push stuff out consistently. We wanted to. Right now we've got what we think are 2 of our 4 or 5 written for the next one, and we're constantly working through stuff as we speak. So.
I figure it's a little more cost effective without having a record deal, to do a solid chunk of 5 awesome songs where there's in the words of Sum 41, all killer, no filler. Instead of paying a couple thousand extra, to record a couple songs that you're not really even that thrilled about, and in that way you can, like he said, be a little more consistent in what you're putting out, so people aren't waiting. and you're constantly pushing.
Yeah, we don't have years like Tool do to put out the next
Yeah.
album.
It's much
Going on 11.
It's near to my heart as they are. It's a little frustrating.
Yeah. All right, let's play another song.
Sure.
Cool. Looks like it's either new or heads up.
We do new.
Yeah.
Which one's new?
That would be
That's track 2.
Track 2.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds like track 2.
We'll do track
Is-
2,
Well,
which is
technically-
track.
It's track 4.
It's track 4.
Track 4.
Oh, okay. I would trust him.
Remember, I listen
Just
to this
Eagle
every
fan.
day.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, trust him.
Watch it not be track 4.
Then I apologize.
Actually, a hidden track.
So many things that are out of my reach. I want it all, send it all my way. It's the thrill of the chase that makes the grass so green on the other side. I can't wait for the cars and the bull that you stay when they blast through the walls with my name. But more than anything, I'm waiting for the day you and your man come with me. Promise you he's not part of the plan. Let him see the good behavior that you'll regret. But until that day, just leave him and you're hanging on. I know he's not what you're banking on, but don't wait. I'll show you tonight. Give your past a little break. Make me the man you're hanging on, 'cause I know I'm the one you're banking on, but don't wait. I'll show you tonight. Hey, I'm not exactly a saint. You have a choice to make. I have what you want, but I'm not gonna wait. Make the call, is it on? I can promise nothing wrong. Maybe take me by the arm, even if you don't get all of me. I will ecstasy for now. Just leave the man you're hanging on. I know he's not what you're banking on, but don't wait. I'll show you tonight. Give your past a little break. Make me the man you're hanging on, 'cause I know I'm the one you're banking on, but don't wait. I'll show you tonight. Just leave the man you're hanging on. I know he's not what you're banking on, but don't wait. I'll show you tonight the rules we're gonna break. Make me the man you're hanging on, 'cause I know I'm the one you're banking on, but don't wait. And I'll show you what it's like.
Set to read only, and you can't add or take or move anything.
Are you serious?
We are live.
Are you going to talk to them about it?
Yeah, we're gonna talk to customer service.
Jeez, that's dumb.
Yeah, we're having a.
Technical
that's
difficulties.
recorded. That's
Yeah, it's band related. I promise.
okay. Ryan, do you have anything you want to say? Any question?
Not at the moment. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Do you have any like places, recommendations of where to eat around here?
Yeah. Probably Mentor. The
We're
Mentor
looking to go
area.
back.
What do you guys like? Like Italian? Do you
We're
like?
looking to hit-
Yes.
I like
yeah.
food.
Yeah,
And
just
Steak,
carbohydrates.
pasta. Yeah. Okay, so
Carbohydrates.
Italian. There's this one place. Do you like pizza?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
love pizza. Who doesn't
Pizza.
like
They
pizza?
also have like.
Great.
All right, there's this place in Mentor called Slice, and it's a really. It doesn't look like much. There's a small parking lot, but it's really hard to find the driveway of the place, and it's the size of a house, but it's literally one of the best pizza places around here, in my opinion. It's not a chain. It's owned by an Italian family, and it's like a mom and pop place.
Those are always the
Hey,
best.
you know, it's
Oh,
a great place. It's what we like to do. Yeah, but
Wow. Me or something.
But yeah, go there. You could go if you like steak. Well, there's not really a great steak place. I mean, go to Cleveland for that. But yeah, then it would be like $50 a plate if you want good steak.
For like on a budget.
Yeah, band budget.
I heard of this place called Arcade and Kitchen. I haven't been there yet, but I heard it's really good.
Is there
Where's that at?
arcade in
I
it?
have no idea. Yes, there is.
That's
What?
kind of cool.
Really?
Yeah,
Might have to check that out.
Arcade and Kitchen.
Yeah.
Is it like in the Cleveland area?
I think it's in Willoughby, somewhere.
It's in Willoughby.
Somewhere.
To me, it's all the
Gives me a
same.
good
Like
idea.
Mentor is just like all of this area, just in one.
Yeah,
for
it's
some
like
reason. I don't know
it's
why.
like when you ask someone where do you live, and they're like Cleveland, and they actually live like
In
in
Lakewood.
Ashtabula, yeah, or
or
Lakewood.
Westlake or
But
Avon or
I saw somebody said if you're a Cavs fan, Cleveland is like the entire top of the state.
Well, it extends
'Cause-
down to Akron. For
Yeah, it extends
Definitely,
all
yeah.
the way down to really Columbus,
yeah.
because
Oh,
like
yeah.
everybody's just a Cavs fan in Ohio. I mean, I am too, but
It's only 17 minutes from here.
okay.
Very good.
Not bad.
well, that's not bad. But yeah, I mean, try that. I don't know. There's just a lot of chains around here, which I don't really care for too much.
They're all right. They're good for
Yeah.
Taco Bell.
consistency, but you
Yeah.
gotta try and find the good places.
Yeah.
That's those hole in the wall places, man.
Yeah.
Those
Do you
are
guys?
greasy good stuff?
Yep.
The
What
grease.
favorite? Okay. What are you guys in the mood for? Just
Pasta.
okay, pasta.
Always.
He's always good for pasta.
Yeah, I agree.
We do these big mac and cheese and pasta
Oh,
like
Dude,
get-togethers at the house.
Really?
Which, get-togethers, it means like just the four of us.
Like,
Yeah.
just
And maybe one or two other people.
just Kyle.
But we make. I mean, I don't know what the normal person, how many boxes of mac and cheese you would make for like a normal 4 and 5 people.
Yeah.
But
done
like
10.
at least multiply it by 5 because like we just blow
We go
through
hard.
mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Pretty sure we have a video or two on that of
We
that
do.
on
But
the
my,
Instagram there.
My favorite attribute to all this was your final project for last year was the Buttered News Blues.
Is in buttered noodles.
Like Buttered
One
News.
of my favorites.
In
I thought it was the cleverest title I've ever heard.
the buttered.
Buttered News Blues, like
That's
it's so dumb. It's
It's actually
It's tasteful.
yeah.
excuse me.
Tasty.
Sorry.
That's one way. to say-
Right.
Yeah.
Just like buttered news.
Oh.
Just start your own like channel. Buttered News.
Buttered News.
And then like all the background music is just your band.
It's just a mic
And
with
then-
by a bowl
Yeah.
of buttered noodles.
And it's going to be like Anchorman, so you're not telling real news, just make up stories. And then have people act out the scenes in the back.
We could do
And
it.
then
That's a lot of
and you
work.
guys could just act out as every person. So like there's like this really old lady, have him dress up in like, those wigs and
Yeah.
stuff like that and
I'm down.
Yeah, Yeah, just
Interesting.
have your own. Yeah.
Sounds like
I'll
a
just
good
produce
time.
it. I'll make all the money and then like you
Just
guys
keep
will get
providing
your
us with,
checks eventually.
Right.
Yeah, well, exposure, bro.
Yeah,
Get a
exactly.
lot of exposure.
Yeah, exactly.
People in the local music scene seem to think that exposure is just as good, if not better, than actual currency as
Right.
compensation for your work, which I just find really interesting.
Wow.
Tried to pay for my meal once with exposure. Didn't work.
So, do you have anything else you want to ask?
No.
I actually got a question for you guys.
Okay.
Based off what you've heard, and we're very secure individuals here. We can take it. Like, what was your favorite out of what you heard, and why? And then, if there's anything you heard or didn't hear that you wish was there, think improvements that can be made.
Okay.
Anything.
Probably my favorite was Yellow TV. I like that one a lot.
All right.
All right.
Just a solid one.
I can't remember the name. It was the fourth one.
The one that beep boop boop bop boop beep.
Boop Bob.
Yes,
The fourth.
Was
one
it
that-
the last one we played?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so new.
Yeah.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
like
I
that
like-
one.
That's one of the things we talked about before. It's kind of cool when we talked about earlier about how we don't really like nail ourselves down to just one genre.
Right.
The other thing about our music is whenever we ask anybody that question, there's always a different answer.
Right.
And we've never, very seldom do we get anything negative.
Right.
But it's so common to get somebody who comes up after a show and goes, "Wow, like that one, that Until Sunrise, the bass, it grooves, like it's
Right,
awesome."
right.
And then the next show, somebody will come up and talk about the single, and it's like, "Wow, that sounds very similar to like Red Jumpsuit or
Mm-hmm.
You know, A Day to Remember, like heavier stuff
Right.
like that. Like I
Right.
love that one, and it's really cool to hear that, you know, not only the single, the one we've been pushing, has gotten a lot of attention, but people like, you know, they like all the stuff, you know.
You know how one thing I would suggest is, you know how like Metallica has one, you know, that song, and it's like a long intro into like a really big message. Come up with like a message that you guys all agree with about like an identity, like one single identity that describes all of you, but in one song, and have that message, like, you know, long intro, like something really meaningful, something that speaks to you guys that will speak to everybody else.
Make it your magnum opus. I like that. That's a good idea.
Just like something to really put all of your hearts into one message that you all agree with.
Yeah.
And that you guys can all say, yeah, you know, that describes us and us as individuals.
Yeah.
You know, something that you got to think about.
I think you know, whenever we do go ahead with this next EP, you're going to see a lot of that.
Okay.
The 2 songs that we have that we're ready to go with are probably some of the most complete stuff we've ever written.
Yeah.
And we regularly play those songs at shows, and those recently have been the ones that have gotten the most praise. They've got a lot more, you know, heart feel emotion into them.
Yeah.
And we really took our time, really nitpicked the fine details, and but yeah, I agree with you. I think we should do that. I think we should really, you know, maybe do maybe not 8-9 minutes, but
Right.
it ends up being, doing something that's just like it's not just moving during that one part. It's
Right. The
whole
entire
time.
thing
The
is
entire thing is just
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, you have anything else you want to ask?
Nope.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming in.
Appreciate
it.
Thank
Thank
you,
you very
man.
much. And
Kyle, you tell everybody where they can find us.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, we are Grim Republic again. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We are on Snapchat.
Yeah, you can even find us on Snapchat. And
We actually have
watch the
a
shenanigans in the
We have our
house.
own website.
Yeah, we have our own website, grimrepublic.com. That's where you can find everything. Find photos of our live shows. You can find the music video on there. We also are planning on releasing merch. We have some T-shirts right now, but that'll be on the website as well. We do
hats.
customized
We've been
hats.
doing some custom hats.
But yeah, just go find us on grimrepublic.com, and it's got all of that on there.
Okay.
Right. And again, come see us at our next big show, December 1st at Musica in
It's a
Akron
Friday.
with Chill. It's
Okay.
gonna be one heck of a time. It's
Yeah,
gonna be wild.
definitely. Oh, I think she had one more question.
Sure.
How did you guys find Lakeland or Lake Effect Radio?
We got messaged by, I believe it's Tim Peringi, if that's how you pronounce his last
Sure,
name.
that's how you know. That's how you say it. Sure.
He messaged us and invited us on, and we were extremely excited to come on because this is the first time we've ever done a live interview on the radio. So it's fun.
It's kind of cool because we recognize a lot of the bands that
Right.
have been here.
Yeah, we're friends with a lot of bands on here, so it's cool.
Even people I went to high school with, I was like, what?
Yeah, definitely a community on the wall. That's for sure. It's cool to see.
I think you see that second.
Oh, Kraft, 100% Kraft. You can't go generic mac and cheese.
Velveeta.
Velveeta's pretty good.
It's either Kraft
Hold up.
or
Can someone read that off to me?
it says Kraft. It says Kraft or generic.
I prefer value time.
Now, okay, this could be a phrasing issue. If it's homemade, which we do often, I guess we don't make the noodles. But
Right.
We'll grab boxes of regular noodles, melt down some
The
cheddar
cheese.
cheese and some American cheese, and mix that
And
up.
that's dope.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
So we have the other person that with one last one, and random David in Lake County, and you should ask that.
Oh,
Either
if you could work with any music artist, who would it be?
I'm sure we all have different
Yeah.
answers for that.
You want us to just go down the
Go
line?
down the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh God.
Tool, 100%. A lot of people don't even know who Tool is. They're kind of like a more progressive metal band. I basically call them the heavy Pink Floyd. A lot of their. The reason I latched onto them, one, because their drummer is just fantastic. He's my greatest influence. And two, that like their songs are kind of like you were talking about. Almost every track they have is extremely just packed full of meaningful messages, and oftentimes like things that can be interpreted more than one way. And every piece is a work of art.
Right.
And I love that about the band, and I would love to work with a couple members of them and kind of get an insight to their process.
I would have to go with either Avenged Sevenfold or Pierce the Veil. I picked
Sweet.
Pierce the Veil because when I listen to their music, there's not one single verse or chorus where the guitar's like the same, and I think it's a interesting writing process they have there. Plus, they're a little bit younger and pertain to the younger crowd. But I love the guitarists in both bands, so I aspire to be like that one day.
For me, it'd probably be between the Baird and me. I mean, they're just weird. I mean, like their Colors album was just fantastic. It's just like one continuous song, in my opinion, and it was just. I got to saw them live for like the third time back at like a couple months ago at the Agora, and it was like the greatest concert I've ever heard and seen or participated in. There's just a lot of different things they put in. It's kind of like Tool in a sense. It might be a little bit more, a little bit heavier than Tool. I mean, not because they choose to be, but it's just they have a variety of music. Like there's a hoedown in one of their songs. There's a lot of like different things that go on. It's just always fun to listen to it. And I mean, and they both are just cool guys.
And mine would definitely have to be Green Day and Billy Joe. Ever since, I started playing guitar when I was 10, and I think I started listening to Green Day. I might have been 8. It was pretty early. It started with, I think it was right around the time when, or just right after they released American Idiot. And so I had heard a lot of that stuff, but I really latched on to early stuff like Shenanigans and Dookie. I listened to those albums all the way through, and from as early as I started listening to them on my CD player on the bus in 3rd grade or whatever it was, all the way to now, like I've sort of always tried to. I started emulating his voice because I would sing those songs all day, front to back of every album, and so that's who I looked up to early on, as well as like Linkin Park. I looked up to them too as well. But Green Day would have to be the band that I would want to work with. They catch a lot of flack for being 3-4 chord progression, power chord kind of band, not a whole lot of fancy stuff going on, but you know what, they're able to be simplistic and be one of the biggest bands in the world right now. So like I said, I've always looked up to Billy Joe. Those guys are goofy and love their music, so I'd love to sit down and work with them someday.
Cool. Well, thank you guys again for being here.
Well, thank you, man.
And we hope to have you guys back sometime soon.
That'd be fantastic.
100%, man.
Sure.
And again, this has been your show.
therhyanway.
The
With-
Ryan Way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
The right
the
way.
Grim Republic. Or is
Grim
it?
Republic.
Grim Republic. All right.
Grim Republic.
Didn't want to mess
That was
that up.
close.
I did, but
Don't.
I appreciate
Yeah.
the nod there.
Yeah.
We lost that battle.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. Tune in next week to this show at 5 o'clock, right?
Yep.
All right. Thank you guys again.
Thanks.